Got my menthol cigarette. Right? So, when I do my things here, they're usually, I just try to be kind of comical. Some jokes are funny and some aren't. Who gives a shit? But it's a bit. This is 2 bits. 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1. Right? And I see all these guys out here with these conspiracy theories about the monies and, oh, God, we turned our back on God, we did this, and they fucking around with all the money. The only thing I noticed changed on the money is what we're under. If you want to see what's under that, I don't know, can you see that? See that? Might be backwards, you have to flip it around maybe. But old time money, same 2 bits, is under this. I use that word a lot. A lot. Right? It's a cool word. There's a statue right out there that has the same name. It isn't called the Statue of Freedom. Nobody's running over here for the freedom. Listen here, I'm a freedom. No, I don't have a Statue of Freedom out there. For all these word guys, go look at the difference of the definition of those freedom and the L word. Not lesbian, liberty. Very different meanings. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's just a joke, folks. Right? No, you're not given God-given rights. It's liberty. Every person walking and talking has them, from toddler all the way up. I say, when I raised my children, I didn't raise children. I raised adults. They were small. I didn't talk to them as kids. I talked to them straight. Real. When we talk about babies, when they're 5, I didn't like 5 years old. I'm real. You do how you want to. I don't give a fuck. Not my kids. My kids understand the merits, responsibility, whatever, and how people steal them, your accolades. So if you want something, you got to make sure to whatever, because there are thieves all over who ride your coattails for any reason whatsoever, right? So get in on this topic for people who are new. I don't give a fuck about you. You're late to the game. Way late. 10 years late. Right? We're talking about... Because we got this new thing going up there for a long time. Artemis, they're going to be checking some shit out, right? You think they'll be eyeballing that one spot over there? This spot that has a lot more gravity. I thought gravity, because all these guys are talking about science, knows everything about gravity. Everybody knows gravity. I don't think they do, because on the moon, there's a place on the moon has more gravity than the rest. What the fuck, over? I thought all these guys knew everything. Prove God. I don't give a fuck. They say, are you an atheist? No. Are you a theist? No. Well, what are you? In court of law, no contest. Why don't you make my decision for me, judge? You're going to anyway. Right? How about that? Are you agnostic or a Gnostic? What's the difference? A Gnostic or agnostic? What's the difference? Atheist or atheist? Are you an atheist or I'm atheist or I'm an atheist? Because there is a difference, huh? Who gives a fuck? I don't. Right? Because we're talking about the moon. Remember we talked about the moon being magnetically connected to the earth in a crazy, fucked up way. Probably true. Everybody knows it's just gravity and it's just perfect circles. Probably not. Remember, it's a revolution in a fixed state. Right? That's fucking up everything. Can one man come in and fuck up everything? Probably. Like Project Thunderbolts, you know, they got their whole thing doing. If I want to talk about something like Colburn Bible, because a lot of, if you read the story in the Colburn Bible about the destroyer, it is not anything out there, as far as I can tell, when you read the text in the Colburn Bible that talks about this destroyer. It says it's not some fucking wandering planet. It's not some fucking rogue star. This shit just happened. It just popped. Right? Up everything. Plasma discharges and everything. Right? For these guys. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not discounting that something came in like Venus, but I'm not going there. Right? It's cool. It's cool. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about what people talk about, what do you call it? Evolution. Sorta. Yes, I can give it to you, but even within the evolution, the dinosaur thing, this other guy's got these other fossils. He says all these dinosaur hunters have been kicking up and just cracking the crack out of all the mammal fossils because they actually turned into a different kind of rock that they didn't care about. They've been just destroying mammal fossils all along to find a lizard bone. Which is funny for all these people that, oh, we came from the dinosaurs. Maybe not. Right? That's my new laugh. I got a new favorite character. Hecklefish. Google him. He's funny. He's my new hero. Fucking funny. Makes me a speed weeder. Right? It's just fun. Nonetheless. So, within that whole thing, because, you know, some dinosaurs were massive, and in my opinion, a step getting set back, in my opinion, is different than what you guys are talking about, right? Which goes to when I start talking about time, because everybody's got this whole fucking hang up on time, which is some other construct, but in time, we're all in the same time, but velocity is different. We calculate it in time. But in times, because everybody's got this whole narrative, you know, where I put it in Sumer. And I think Sumer goes way back further than anybody knows, man, or will let us know, right? Because in Sumer, when they're talking about Marduk, Jupiter, and Nibiru, Jupiter, and some other stuff, they talk about everything Shamash, a sun created by Marduk. Funny. Right? And that's the cosmological unit that we all have today. The very same. They didn't come from the Greeks, they didn't come from the Hebrews, they didn't come from us. Sumer, or Babylon, for everybody. Right? If you want, but Sumer is not Babylon. So that's what everybody says, well, Sumer is Babylon. No way. These guys in Sumer were doing cosmological shit, mapping the pentagram of Venus and everything. Way. They were writing it down, right? Which goes to the whole language. And these guys say, well, the cuneiform, and then the Greeks, they magically got this. It was cuneiform that created the phonetic alphabet, the rebus writing and all this. That's why you guys debate God all you want. I don't give a fuck. Not my business. No contest. I don't listen to music, though I play Suck at it, maybe, maybe not. But I don't have friends because I don't watch TV. I don't know how to talk TV. I don't know how to talk music. I don't know how to talk pop stars. I don't know how to talk fucking atheist Bible, whatever guys right now. I'll teach you how to talk, debunk all this and debunk that. It's not my business. My business is cosmos. Sure is. The moon. Since I was a kid. Wayne Starkey said, then you want to go star in school? I said, no, I want to get the fuck out of here. These people are fucking stupid trying to fill my head full of shit. Trying to fill my head full of one god or another and some line of bullshit science over another. That's right. I don't give a fuck. I've been on my own search, and so far it's turning out pretty good. For all you fuckers. Like me and Dustin is walking, tracking them, man. Talking about perforating cardboard and all this cool stuff. Unreal. Right? So back to Sumer. Right? Because we got this whole 360-degree circle, Sumer, and 12 hours in a day, 12 and 12 and 12 adds up to 60s. Sumer. And we got how many minutes in an hour? 60. I'm pretty sure that relates back to Sumer. How many seconds are in a minute? 60. Sumer. Because they had a 60 number count. Get the fuck out of here, huh? They did. Check it out. Get some brain cells going. Stop regurgitating what your fucking gurus are telling you. Atheists have their fucking gurus too. They're preachers and priests. Listen, if you just come to me, I'll tell you how to debunk it. I don't give a fuck. You argue about that. If it keeps you in a box, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm trying to change things for real. Like going to the moon, looking for this core material, because that's what they're going to be looking for, I bet you, folks. How much you want to lay money on that? And I bet something else, they ain't going to find none on the surface, because it wasn't no asteroid impact. Right? That stuff was on its way out. It never made it. You ain't going to find anything that's off the surface. Bubs. That's just so you know, bud. You're going to have to go digging for that shit, however deep it is. Just my opinion, remember. After all, it is my hypothesis. I can only call it a hypothesis, because nobody else in the whole fucking world could believe it. Everything else is theories. This is just a hypothesis. I have to get my wording right. Right, because I'm checking out some stuff, because I got to get my ducks in a row. Right, because they talk about this fucking Big Bang business. 10 to the minus 37 seconds. Probably none, because as far as I'm concerned, it's not anything like you guys are saying. Well, it depends what kind of thing you got going on. I don't give a fuck. I think you're way wrong, because you're going off of understanding of wrong thinking. Right? Because if I can be authorized version only, I don't give a fuck. In the beginning, God made the earth and heavens. And now, in their vernacular, if I can use it, and the world was void and formless. Wrong! That's what I think. And God said, let there be light. Boom! And all the light. Wrong! That's just an opinion. That's where you're wrong. If you want to get that far back. Just an opinion. All this other stuff was happening. Life, water, all this stuff was already happening before light even came into fucking picture, as far as you call sun or whatever. Life was already here, and the water, and everything going on. We've just been a constant up. Right? But I'm not allowed to say that because that's just not with any understanding. And it's just not biblical. It goes for all the Judeo bullshit, the Muslim bullshit, Christian bullshit, Chinese bullshit. Every one of these bullshits starts with this whole light. This big explosion of light. That's why I think you're wrong. I'm in the opinion that we've been clawing our way out of the goddamn dark from day one. Remember, God, I was in the dark. Just my opinion. Crazy as it is, right? Because if this is what I got to go by, I'm just going to tell you, historical geology, and it's lecture number 12 or 2 or something like that. Dr. Christopher White, he does this whole thing. But I just had to get where I'm at in this thing with, he says, there's either two things. You can ask fucking Mr. Physicist, whatever his fucking name is, Mr. Comedy, Tyson, what? Not Mike, the other guy, Grass Tyson or whatever his fucking name. I don't know names and I don't give a fuck. It talks about this whole shit. You get this old planet that could, luckily, has to come in at a very perfect 45-degree angle to come in and smack the earth and combine with it and do everything we got. That's one theory that we can have. You're allowed to have. The other one says that the earth was in its formation still, and like 22,000 massive asteroids come in and obliterate it and started cooking everything, cooked the whole crust, folks. Cooked the whole crust, both scenarios. And I keep asking, my very good question is, where did the water come from? This is a lot of fucking water. Where did it come from? Well, it's cooled off. Well, that wouldn't cool off and have water, because the moon is cooled off and you can't find a drop. It's in the Goldilocks zone, right? Just thinking, right? And they say, well, just all this gravity and pressure is where I'm at. That's true. You don't need sunlight to have this pressure happen and make things go off. It's true. Right? But that's where I'm at with that, because I don't believe that what you guys got going on is the truth. I think something else is going on, and I don't want to get too involved with this because, you know, the implications are astounding. Artificial gravity and everything like that, you know, in a starship, things just... Crazy talk, right? But light could be a product, just like it is. Well, you know how to strike a match? Yeah, you had to have pressure and something prior before you even got any light. You know how the light bulb goes in a vacuum? Yeah, but you got to have something first. Well, fuck your Fibonacci. For all these Fibonacci guys, they say, well, Fibonacci's the golden ratio of life and water and this and that. And I say, well, where does that fit with amoeba? Does a Fibonacci fit with an amoeba? I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe you do. It must be one of the ones. Right? It's cool if you do. Right? But I put it back in Sumer story. You guys do whatever you want. Right? But as far as like your crazy stuff, I think it always comes from inside out. If there was an ancient tech here, they're the ones fucked up and caused that. Because it's just my opinion, this whole transistor and gain and all this cool stuff. And all you are on the crust is a transistor melting the fucking ceramic heat sink. Well, just the heat sink, not the source. Well, got a global warming problem. What is it? It's us. Probably is. No, we do. Maybe. I don't give a shit. Problem is, for all these people says, oh, we can survive this. This is all you got to do. Stock up on your food, stock up on your water, and be able to breathe in a zero-G atmosphere. Good luck with that, dog bones. Well, you better have a spacesuit or you're fucked up. If you want to get technical. Well, you can go killing each other and figure it out and say, well, we're the toughest and we're the toughest and we're the toughest and we're the toughest. And we see how tough you get when something else takes over the life, because we ain't going to leave here. We can sit and watch them take over our world when you guys are fucking suffocating. Or outgassing, turning to stone. Because that's what happens when you go to outer space, right? The moisture evaporates out your body and you turn into a bunch of fucking rocks. Right? And for all these cool guys telling you about all this evil stuff that they're doing. And the same thing, while you're out watching that, scroll on through, and you find that they're just, yeah, I was in that thing, because we can get back to that, because they talked about how the gravity works, and if it's got this Goldilocks zone and it's perfect for us. Except if you look at his graph over there, they got this graph about how mass and density can hold certain gases and all this cool stuff. And it's true. However, if something happened that brought another thing in, the Earth was a lot less mass. And if 22,000 asteroids came in, you have to subtract that out of the mass in your equations, right? So it wasn't as big as this is. You have to subtract what came in. If you're going to add to it, if we're going to redact back or retro, whatever you think back, you got to take stuff out if you're going to put it in prior to an event. If you're going to say 22,000 asteroids come in and cook the planet, then prior to that, you got to say how much they were and then take them out and then make the Earth smaller, whatever, and put it in this graph. And the same thing goes with this other CO whatever fucking planet they call it. You got to subtract that out as far as mass when you're starting to play with this water equation or gases to make water equation. Remember, mine says it was definitely sulfuric acid and everything, and this other thing was whatever caustic base came into the acid, mix acid and a base, no matter which one they are, and it gives you something potable, water to drink. Equalizes the pH. Atmosphere, we was talking, remember? We got them all crazied up, remember? So, yeah. But if you look at this graph over there like that, because he's talking about, we got, 20-something degrees now, 27, 30 degrees Celsius or whatever. But at the time to cook your fucking magma or your crust, you're a little bit hotter than that. And if you look at that gauge over there, ain't no fucking water, bud. Ain't no fucking gas to make water, no nothing. At 1,700 degrees or 5,000 degrees centigrade. Again, where's the water come from? I think we're already here. We just been cracking out the water. I'll figure it out later. Right? It's cool. But for all these other people that think, because they're I don't know what you call it, micronutrients or whatever, if that's what you do. They've been doing that since the 50s, folks. If you want, for all these people who want a little intelligence, you go down and you can Google in 1950, because he'll tell you the same thing. For all these people who want to argue about God, Dr. Stanley Miller. Right? He produced those amino acids in the 1950s with just gas and a fucking spark. And that's what they've been doing it ever since. And they can make a RNA chain that they'll sit and mass produce the fucking same amino acid time after time. Right? For all you guys that's doing all these, got 2 teaspoons of fucking beet juice, and I don't need no beets because I just grow them with RNA. But you won't take an RNA shot. That's funny than fuck, man. And what do we know about RNA? It's prone to make mistakes. That's how come you guys can have all your evolution, huh? That's how evolution happened. Because RNA makes mistakes. Right? But you'll trust it in whatever you're taking, in a spoonful or whatever. Right? It's organic. It's organic. I don't care. I don't. I'm very organic. A lot of eggs. I can take the arsenic, I guess, because I think there's in a lot of eggs. Sometimes you get arsenic in the store ones, but you know, if you can get them local, it's cool. Right. That's where I'm at. I'm a total trip. I don't believe any of your bullshit. None. I don't give a fuck, bubs. Philosophies either. Philosophy is just the biggest bully being able to push his will on everybody else. It doesn't mean a fucking thing. It doesn't mean one fucking thing. You know Nietzsche? No, never met the fucker, nor do I give a fuck. Right? Plato? I don't give a fuck. Right? Everybody talks about Ptolemy and Pythagoras, but Pythagoras went to Babylon too. Oh, get the fuck out of here, huh? I wonder what he learned down there. A lot more than he learned in Egypt. Tell that right now. Just funny stuff, folks. Why we got 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 12 hours and 12 hours in a... Come from Sumer, not Babylon. Babylon's later down line. You know, because everybody talks about the fucking, whatever, Numa Elish. That's 600 BC, 800 BC, something like that. That's like Akkadian. Akkadian, not Sumer either. God damn. Fucking hard. But everybody will put it right in the same game. Yeah, because it keeps their narrative. Whether it be biblical or Quran or Torah, or they're all fucking wrong as far as I'm concerned, because as soon as you say that light, you're way off. Right? It's cool though. I'm out here pushing my limits, man, because I've been studying stuff for a long time. Not y'all. I ain't been out here grifting fuckers for a buck, writing me a book says how to refute. I'm trying to figure shit out for real, and it's just not there. Right? Shit I'm trying to figure out is hard to figure out, and if to bust a narrative, yeah, fuck you all up. Not my intent. It's just where I'm coming from.